Hi, good morning. This is Anusha here. Today we are going to learn together what is an English and how could we make it into practical. Why? Because the language will be active mode when it turns into an action. Especially the English, it is a driving stone of this media and whatnot all around the world. And now this is the time. Why don't we step into that modern world and why don't we take a step or hand to ruling that particular world? So let us start a strong foundation for communicating. Why? Because the communication itself will develop a marvelous results where the action goes behind of it. Why? Because the word what we use is definitely going to capture the opposite person, which will drag us together and where the things will be done in a fluent and very easily. And this is nothing but the turning of the complex things into simple way. And now this is the time to take the complex subject what you feel as an English, where it is enclosed with n number of commas, full stop, punctuations and nothing else. That's the only the thing, the action which is going to make us strong enough. For that we need a very strong communication skills. Now let us start, and as usually we all know that English is a subject where we need a particularly the grammatical things. The grammatical things will convey a proper message that may be loving or that may be harsh, that may be command or that may be request. But the sentence will be completely depending upon the commas or the full stop or the exclamations what we use. And for example, let us go with a small sentence here. Just I like it. It is a simple sentence like I like it. But when we use an exclamation, it turns I like it, means it is really expressing the opposite person what we really feel from the bottom of the heart, where it is very needed in the time of surprising the others in the presentation of any kind of output from their people. This is how the communication rules the hearts of the people, where it is going to be stand as a perfect and a strong media to prove ourselves, or at the same time it will let us down also. So where now this is a correct time to make ourselves to move forward and to have a very strong bond where the language is only your way and the way is made by English in this particular modern media. Okay, and now the basic thing what the English is made up of is the thing are the nouns. Generally in the traditional grammar, everyone will be taught the nouns is a name of a person, place, thing or an animal. Obviously, according to the text and the lines, it is obviously meant. But in the actions, this will turn into many confusing ways. So let us learn the confusing ways in a simple manner. As I told you, let us turn the complex into simple. So as we all know that as the noun is a simple word which will divert a number of things into many complications. Now if at all we take nouns. Now as I told you, it deals with the name of a person, place, thing and animal. This is what the traditional grammar teaches us, but it takes a number of ways for making a slight confusion in the brain that will make us to dodge, to stop the sentence or to stretch the sentence. Here we need to give a very good clarification that nothing is going to be so complicated as something goes on in the brain. Is it wrong or right? To clear out this particular